On this channel, I've shared a couple of videos on investments, how to invest, what possible items or instruments you can invest your money in, and the type of returns you can get based on the various type of investment available to us. And just the other day, I realized that I had left out something which is very crucial. That is things you have to do to ensure that you are well prepared for investment. Anybody can get up and invest in the stock market. Anybody at all can get up and go to a bank and put money into a mutual fund. But there are steps or things that you need to fix with regards to your money that will make your investment journey a lot more smoother and in entirety make your journey to financial freedom a lot more profitable. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 key things you need to do to ensure that you're well prepared for investment and you're prepared to make the most out of your investment. If you're interested in that, stick around and let's get straight into the video. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Antwiwaa if you are new here, and if you are returning, what's up my G? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 key things you need to do to ensure that you are well prepared for investment and you're well prepared to reap the most benefit out of your investment. The very first thing you have to do is to ensure you have an income. And let me give you a scenario. Some years ago when I hadn't even started working. I just worked on a project that gave me some good amount of money, and I thought it was a good idea to take the bulk of that money and put it into an investment, into a mutual fund investment. And why that was a mistake is that a chunk of the money that I had at the time was locked up in an investment, and now I had to decide on falling on that money or withdrawing that money from the bank and messing up my investment, because for some investments or for mutual fund investment, you need to allow the money to sit and grow before you reap substantial interest. Now I had to decide on letting the money sit there and struggling in life or going for that money and not making any interest at all because I didn't leave the money to mature, or what's even worse is losing part of my principal because of the penalty that comes with withdrawing from that particular investment at an immature time or date. So before you take all your money and have it locked up or tied up in an investment, make sure that you have a constant source of income, maybe something that comes in every month, something that you can live and survive on day by day. If you don't have a consistent source of income, you realize that there are times that you are very dry, you don't have any money at all, and there are times that you have a lot of money. But for the times that you are very dry and do not have any money at all, there is a high chance or high probability that you may go into your investment to make withdrawals, and that is messing with your money. You're not making any profit if you're constantly going and tampering with the money that you're investing without waiting for it to mature. If for nothing at all, you're losing some money by doing that every now and then. So make sure that you have a constant source of income before you have all your money locked up in an investment. The second thing you need to do to ensure you're ready or prepared for investment is having an emergency fund. And basically, an emergency fund is a fund or an amount of money that you can fall on for 3 to 6 months if, say, your income stops coming in. So if you're working, for example, and you lose your job, nobody prays that happens, so God forbid, but let's say you lose your job, or something happens, or there's an accident that nobody plans for, you have some monies put aside that you can use to take yourself out of whatever situation you may find yourself in. So before you delve into investing, make sure that you have a good emergency fund. Financial advisors suggest that you have about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses in that emergency fund, so that if something happens, at least you can survive for 3 to 6 months while you try to figure things out. Then the next thing you have to do is determine or understand your risk tolerance. When we say risk tolerance, you're basically referring to how much of a risk appetite or how much risk you are able to take as an individual. Not the type of risk your friends are taking, or not the type of risk your family members are taking. As an individual, being true to yourself. How much are you willing to risk in order to make more money or in order to be financially independent? And the reason you need to know this is that there are different types of investment. If you're not new to this channel, you've probably watched a video of me telling you about that investment versus the other investment. If you're new to this channel, or if you want to watch that video again, I'll leave all the links in the description box and you can check them out after this video. But basically, there are different types of investments. The amount of risk tolerance you need to invest in the stock market is different from the amount of risk tolerance you would need to invest in something like treasury bills. Let me explain. For things like treasury bills, you usually have an idea how much money you're going to get at the end of the investment, and there's a very low chance of you losing your principal at all. So if you're investing $1,000 in any of these, there is 100% guarantee that you will get your $1,000 back plus your interest. Now that is different from the risk tolerance you would need to have if you're investing in the stocks market or cryptocurrency, for example. So for cryptocurrency, you can invest $1,000 into, say, Ethereum, as I'll say it, Ethereum, and one coin may be worth $20, for example. Today, when you buy $10,000 of it, and then tomorrow the coin can drop to about $15. What does that mean? It means you have lost $5 on every single coin that you own, and it can keep fluctuating here and there. If you're investing in stocks, the company can do well this month and the company can do really bad the next month. So what this means is that you may end up losing a huge chunk of your money if the company performs very poorly. Someone who is not ready or willing to risk that much money is better off investing in things that you know for a fact that you will not lose any money, as opposed to investing in something that's very volatile and you can end up losing all your money in no time. So yeah, make sure that you determine and understand your risk tolerance. Are you willing to risk losing in order to make a huge chunk of money, or are you the type of person that is okay with not risking any money at all but making small but consistent returns over time? The next thing you should ensure you have is some form of protection. And when I say protection, I mean insurance. It could be insuring your car. If you have a business, insuring your shop that you do your business in, insuring your health, for example. And this is necessary because in addition to your emergency fund, having an insurance policy, even though a good number of us don't have a lot of insurance policies, I personally don't have a lot of insurance policies, even though it's something that I intend on making sure I have. I think if for anything at all, I want to make sure that I have a proper health insurance policy, not the one that the government gives. The government tries, but if you have ever been in a tight situation, you know that for some extreme cases, the government cannot do much to help you. So it'd be a great idea to have some insurance policies that can cover you in terms of tragic situations. Nobody hopes for those type of happenings or situations, but life is generally unpredictable, so you would want to make sure that you're prepared. So if you have the means, try getting a health insurance, for example. I know of people that have health insurances that allow them to have a full body checkup once or twice in a year, just to check for things that may be hiding or creeping around the corners, and be fully prepared for the future. So before you put all your money into investing, make sure that you have an insurance policy here and there that'll be there to lift you back up in case of any incidents or mishappening. The next thing you have to do is to make sure that you pay off any high interest debt. And I know that for people my age, a good number of us do not have loans or credits of any sort, but if you do and the interest rate on that loan or that credit is very high, make sure that you pay that off first before you go ahead to invest, right? Let's say the interest on your loan is about 15% in a year, which is very high. But let's say it's 15% in a year and you take your money and invest it, and the returns on that investment is 12% in a year. The longer it takes for you to pay off that loan, the more money you lose, because the money that you've invested, instead of making more money to cover up for that debt, is rather making less money and that debt keeps growing and growing. So if you have any high interest debts or loans, make sure that you pay those ones off first before you proceed to do any investment at all. The next thing you have to do to ensure that you're well prepared for investment is to do your research and have realistic expectations. First part is make sure that you are doing a lot of research. You're finding out all you can find on whatever investment you may have your eyes on. You're reading all the policies, every single thing before you delve into that investment, because it is very possible to fall for any Ponzi scheme or any other scheme that we have out there. Then once you're done doing your research, you have to make sure that you have realistic expectations. I know that a lot of people get excited about investments. People watch a video here and there about investing and get so excited. I mean, we're going to make tons of money in a short time. We're going to be billionaires in 2 years, for example, and then 2 years come and you are not even in the hundreds of thousands and you feel like you've been tricked or whatever. But the truth is that for most investments, you require a lot of patience and time to see or to reap the full benefits of your investment. So if you're someone who has wild expectations and you think that if you put a certain amount of money into investing, you expect to double it in 2 or 3 months, you are the type of person that will fall for a Ponzi scheme and lose all your money. When it comes to investments, lower your expectations for the most part. The dynamics can change if, say, you invest in stocks. Let's say there's a company and you invest in their stocks this year. This year, the company is making thousands of dollars, for example, in profit, right? And then the next year, the company becomes a multi-billion-dollar company. Those cases are where your investments can grow exponentially. But for the most part, those things do not happen every other day or every other year. So that means that for the most part, or for most investments, you will see steady growth over time. And then because of compounding interest, after a long period of time, you reap a lot of benefit from your investment. So if you're going into investment, you have to make sure that you do your research and you also have realistic expectations. Keyword is realistic expectation. If you enjoyed this video, you definitely enjoyed this one where I talk about how you can invest your first 1,000, what you can invest in, and what amount of profit or interest you can hope to get from the various type of investments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that before you leave. Can't go back, that ass back you.